Family, God bless you. My name is Regan D'Onofrio. I pastor here at Upper Room, and I want to invite you to come out to our 40th anniversary celebration, August 28th and 30th. 40 years of ministry, 40 years of serving our community here in the greater New York area, 40 years of bringing heaven down to earth. So excited about what God has done and is about to do. We are crossing over out from the wilderness and into the promised land. But not only that, family, August 28th and 30th, we will be meeting here in the building. We're having a homecoming service. We're going to celebrate together, being in person, celebrating what God has done for us. I have videos that will come to show you our precautionary measures that we're taking. I'm so excited to see you there August 28th and 30th. Can't wait to see you. God bless.
Brothers and sisters, we are Upper Room.
I am Najee Simmons, and we are Upper Room.
I am Maria Van Pelt, and we are Upper Room.
My name is Nico Hayes, and we are Upper Room.
I am Christian, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Elijah, and we are Upper Room.
I am Jacqueline Hashem, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Joe Sliansky, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Stephanie Jackson, and we are Upper Room.
I am Jesse D'Onofrio, and we are Upper Room.
I am Biji, and we are Upper Room.
My name is Brian Pearson, and this is my beautiful wife,
Tamika Pearson, and we are Upper Room.
I am Bob Heff, and we are.
Family, God bless you. My name is Regan D'Onofrio. I pastor here at Upper Room, and I want to invite you to come out to our 40th anniversary celebration, August 28th and 30th. 40 years of ministry, 40 years of serving our community here in the greater New York area, 40 years of bringing heaven down to earth. So excited about what God has done and is about to do. We are crossing over out from the wilderness and into the promised land. But not only that, family, August 28th and 30th, we will be meeting here in the building. We're having a homecoming service. We're going to celebrate together, being in person, celebrating what God has done for us. I have videos that will come to show you our precautionary measures that we're taking. I'm so excited to see you there August 28th and 30th. Can't wait to see you. God bless.
Brothers and sisters, we are Upper Room.
I am Najee Simmons, and we are Upper Room.
I am Maria Van Pelt, and we are Upper Room.
My name is Nico Hayes, and we are Upper Room.
I am Christian, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Elijah, and we are Upper Room.
I am Jacqueline Hashem, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Joe Sliansky, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Stephanie Jackson, and we are Upper Room.
I am Jesse D'Onofrio, and we are Upper Room.
I am Biji, and we are Upper Room.
My name is Brian Pearson, and this is my beautiful wife,
Tamika Pearson, and we are Upper Room.
I am Bob Heff, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Ania, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Sheena Payne, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Isaac, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Rebecca Dono, and we are Upper Room.
Hey family, God bless you. My name is Regan D'Onofrio.
And I'm Jacqueline D'Onofrio.
And we pastor here at Upper Room. We'd like to extend a cordial invitation to you and your family to come and be a part of any one of our services that we hold weekly. Friday night, 7:30, and Sunday, 9 and 11 a.m.
We here at Upper Room are a non-denominational, cross-cultural, intergenerational house, so you can feel free to come on in from any walk of life with you and your family and join us as we worship together.
We also would like you to know that your safety is of the utmost importance to us. And with all that's been going on with COVID-19, we are doing our very best to ensure that we are maintaining the guidelines that have been set out by our local law enforcement and, of course, the CDC.
We hope that you're staying well and safe, but we so look forward to seeing you soon.
Let's be incredible together.
We are Upper Room.
Family, God bless you. My name is Regan D'Onofrio. I pastor here at Upper Room, and I want to invite you to come out to our 40th anniversary celebration, August 28th and 30th. 40 years of ministry, 40 years of serving our community here in the greater New York area, 40 years of bringing heaven down to earth. So excited about what God has done and is about to do. We are crossing over out from the wilderness and into the promised land. But not only that, family, August 28th and 30th, we will be meeting here in the building. We're having a homecoming service. We're going to celebrate together, being in person, celebrating what God has done for us. I have videos that will come to show you our precautionary measures that we're taking. I'm so excited to see you there, August 28th and 30th. Can't wait to see you. God bless.
Brothers and sisters, we are Upper Room.
I am Najee Simmons, and we are Upper Room.
I am Maria Van Pelt, and we are Upper Room.
My name is Nico Hayes, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Christian, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Elijah, and we are Upper Room.
I am Jacqueline Hashem, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Joe Sliansky, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Stephanie Jackson, and we are Upper Room.
I am Jesse D'Onofrio, and we are Upper Room.
I am Biji, and we are Upper Room.
My name is Brian Pearson, and this is my beautiful wife,
Tamika Pearson, and we are Upper Room.
I am Bob Heff, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Ania, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Sheena Payne, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Isaac, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Rebecca Dono, and we are Upper Room.
Hey family, God bless you. My name is Regan D'Onofrio.
And I'm Jacqueline D'Onofrio.
And we pastor here at Upper Room. We'd like to extend a cordial invitation to you and your family to come and be a part of any one of our services that we hold weekly. Friday night, 7:30, and Sunday, 9 and 11 a.m.
We here at Upper Room are a non-denominational, cross-cultural, intergenerational house, so you can feel free to come on in from any walk of life with you and your family and join us as we worship together.
We also would like you to know that your safety is of the utmost importance to us. And with all that's been going on with COVID-19, we are doing our very best to ensure that we are maintaining the guidelines that have been set out by our local law enforcement and, of course, the CDC.
We hope that you're staying well and safe, but we so look forward to seeing you soon.
Let's be incredible together.
We are Upper Room.
Upper Room.
I'm Ania, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Sheena Payne, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Isaac, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Rebecca Dono, and we are Upper Room.
Hey family, God bless you. My name is Regan D'Onofrio.
And I'm Jacqueline D'Onofrio.
And we pastor here at Upper Room. We'd like to extend a cordial invitation to you and your family to come and be a part of any one of our services that we hold weekly. Friday night, 7:30, and Sunday, 9 and 11 a.m.
We here at Upper Room are a non-denominational, cross-cultural, intergenerational house, so you can feel free to come on in from any walk of life with you and your family and join us as we worship together.
We also would like you to know that your safety is of the utmost importance to us. And with all that's been going on with COVID-19, we are doing our very best to ensure that we are maintaining the guidelines that have been set out by our local law enforcement and, of course, the CDC.
We hope that you're staying well and safe, but we so look forward to seeing you soon.
Let's be incredible together.
We are Upper Room.
Family, God bless you. My name is Regan D'Onofrio. I pastor here at Upper Room, and I want to invite you to come out to our 40th anniversary celebration, August 28th and 30th. 40 years of ministry, 40 years of serving our community here in the greater New York area, 40 years of bringing heaven down to earth. So excited about what God has done and is about to do. We are crossing over out from the wilderness and into the promised land. But not only that, family, August 28th and 30th, we will be meeting here in the building. We're having a homecoming service. We're going to celebrate together, being in person, celebrating what God has done for us. I have videos that will come to show you our precautionary measures that we're taking. I'm so excited to see you there August 28th and 30th. Can't wait to see you. God bless.
Brothers and sisters, we are Upper Room.
I am Najee Simmons, and we are Upper Room.
I am Maria Van Pelt, and we are Upper Room.
My name is Nico Hayes, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Christian, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Elijah, and we are Upper Room.
I am Jacqueline Hashem, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Joe Sliansky, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Stephanie Jackson, and we are Upper Room.
I am Jesse D'Onofrio, and we are Upper Room.
I am Biji, and we are Upper Room.
My name is Brian Pearson, and this is my beautiful wife,
Tamika Pearson, and we are Upper Room.
I am Bob Heff, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Ania, and we are Upper Room.
I am Sheena Payne, and we are Upper Room.
I'm Isaac, and we are Upper Room.
I am Rebecca Dono, and we are Upper Room.
Hey family, God bless you. My name is Regan D'Onofrio.
And I'm Jacqueline D'Onofrio.
And we pastor here at Upper Room. We'd like to extend a cordial invitation to you and your family to come and be a part of any one of our services that we hold weekly. Friday night, 7:30, and Sunday, 9 and 11 a.m.
We here at Upper Room are a non-denominational, cross-cultural, intergenerational house. So you can feel free to come on in from any walk of life with you and your family and join us as we worship together.
We also would like you to know that your safety is of the utmost importance to us. And with all that's been going on with COVID-19, we are doing our very best to ensure that we are maintaining the guidelines that have been set out by our local law enforcement and, of course, the CDC.
We hope that you're staying well and safe, but we so look forward to seeing you soon.
Let's be incredible together.
We are Upper Room.
Family, God bless you. My name is Regan D'Onofrio. I pastor here at Upper Room, and I want to invite you to come out to our 40th anniversary celebration, August 28th and 30th. 40 years of ministry, 40 years of serving our community here in the greater New York area, 40 years of bringing heaven down to earth. So excited about what God has done and is about to do. We are crossing over out from the wilderness and into the promised land. But not only that, family, August 28th and 30th, we will be meeting here in the building. We're having a homecoming service. We're going to celebrate together, being in person, celebrating what God has done for us. I have videos that will come to show you our precautionary measures that we're taking. I'm so excited to see you there August 28th and 30th. Can't wait to see you. God bless.
Brothers and
family, God bless you. I am so excited to be with you here for this Live at 5, this Testimony Tuesday segment. We have a special group of incredible men that are going to be testifying and talking about the history of who we are and where we've come from. Please, right now, take a minute, hit the share button, let some people know that there is about to be some juice that's getting ready to be released about Upper Room. If you want to hear some dirty stuff, here comes the dirty stuff. We got the inside track that's coming right your way. Just very quickly, want to remind you that August 28th and Sunday, August 30th, we will be celebrating. The August 28th date is a Friday night. We will be celebrating 40 years of ministry here at Upper Room, 40 years of what God has done, 40 years of impacting community, 40 years of bringing heaven on earth. Not only that, we are also celebrating a homecoming. We're coming back to the building. We are going to be live and in living color, taking all precautionary measures necessary to ensure the core value that we hold very true here at Upper Room. That is your safety and the safety of your family. Lot of things going on. There'll be some videos to be released as the weeks go on leading up to that date, just to show you what exactly we have been doing. But I want to just invite you to come. Ready your heart, ready yourself. You don't want to miss Friday night, August 28th, 7:30. And of course, Sunday, both 9 and 11 on August 30th. We will be in the building. Praise the name of Jesus. Well, I'm excited to let you know that there are some very, very special men in my life. Dr. Eck, he was my principal. He helped paddle me as when paddling was legal. Thank you for that, Doctor. Still have some welts that I'm mending over. We have Pastor Vinny, who I grew up as in my life as an uncle, and of course we have Pastor Nick, who actually is my uncle. And as you know, last week we had a discussion with Dr. Eck, beginning to talk about some of the history of Upper Room and even his personal history of how he came to be at the church. And so, Uncle Nick, I'd like to start with you, if that's okay.
Yeah. All right.
You obviously, Bishop is your brother.
Yes.
Your much, much older brother, as you would put it.
Much, yes.
And, so how is it, how was it that you came to the church? How is it dealing with ministry and family? Were you, okay, let me put it this way. I remember hearing stories when my dad first got saved, that you thought that perhaps it could be a fad, and it might have been something that he would have just, he had a bad trip on some shrooms or something, Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, praise God. It's a pleasure to be here tonight sharing some of these testimonies and stories. But, when your dad got saved, I was away. I was away at college.
Buffalo State
University of Buffalo.
University of Buffalo.
So I was up at the University of Buffalo, cold country up there. And, your dad got saved at that time. And he wrote me a letter explaining what happened to him and explaining the whole changes that he went through in life. But you need to realize is that, your dad wasn't the most normal of individuals growing up, all right? He was, from the bands and, the drugs that, he used to, be involved with. Of course, John Scaduto.
Of course,
was
naturally.
A bad influence,
Pastor John, we love you.
But they were, his whole band, they were great guys, but they did the craziest things you could ever imagine. So when I got this letter that my rock and roll brother found Jesus, it came with a certain degree of skepticism for sure.
Naturally.
Okay? But when I got home for the summer, I had graduated, and I got home. Your dad was, as always, very wise. Mm-hmm. So he didn't pound me over the head. He didn't nag me. He didn't persist, nitpick at me. He let me live my life. I got home, but he was always there. And then one day I just decided to go, okay, and to check it out. But it wasn't even Upper Room yet. There wasn't even a basement yet. There was a great revival that happened in Nassau County. Uh-huh. And so your dad brought me there. And he escorted me to the altar to be saved. And I don't know what happened. I found myself flat on the ground.
Wow.
Not knowing what's going on. But I got slain in the spirit. And I don't know how long I was there for, but it was certainly a life-changing experience. But unfortunately, I have a prodigal testimony because I walked with the Lord that time, maybe 6 months, and then I backslid. Mm-hmm. And during that time that I was away and I was walking in disobedience to the Lord, you know, your dad had come out to Long Island because he originally started a great work in Brooklyn, and then he came out to Long Island, and he started to work here, and they were in a basement, okay? And they were building, you know, a congregation came to this little basement that the glory, the anointing, the power, the miracles, it was unbelievable what was going on in that basement. Am I taking too much time?
No, sure? No, please.
Well, so there I was. Let's go back now. I'm out in the world, and all this is going on in God. So God was very patient with me. But he came and gave me really a Damascus experience. Because I was in this club, and I had, you know, a drink in my hand, and I was at the bar, and, you know, being as cool as I was.
Can I just pause here for 1 second?
Sure.
I heard that back in the day.
Go ahead.
You had a particular kind of swag about you, and
swag.
you were you know, when you went to the club, I mean, you were part of the allure for that particular club in any given night. Wherever you decided to go, that's where the party was. And I mean this in a positive way. Is that true?
Oh yeah, because you know, at that time, I guess, you know, I was a club kid, and we were dancers, and it was, you know, hustle was the big dance at the time.
Do the hustle.
Do the hustle. And you know, I became a professional instructor. I worked for multiple studios all over Long Island, from Fred Astaire to Dance Charisma to all these. So we were the dance crowd. So we were the show for all of these clubs, because we'd get on the dance floor, and that's where all the attention was.
Right.
So this was just one of those typical nights. You know, we traveled in a herd. There was a bunch of us, you know. And so we were out, and we were dancing, having a good time. And I'm at the bar drinking a drink, and all of a sudden, I just felt the anointing of God come on me. It was just supernatural. And all of a sudden, what God did for me at that moment was he opened my eyes. He took the blinders off. So I didn't see all the glitz and the glamour and the beautiful people. I began to see the despair and the sadness and the brokenness. And I knew I was saved for a while. I knew there was a better way. I knew there was a better life to live than what this world had to offer me. And so I took that drink, I put it down on the bar, I walked out of that place, and I never returned since.
Wow.
And at that time, there was a basement church, and so I went that very this was a Saturday night, the very next day, I mean, slightly hungover, you know, slightly all of those things you experience when you live a life in the world. And you know, that's when I gave my life to Christ. I rededicated myself to the Lord. And from that moment on, it's simply been a marriage with the Lord. It's been a love affair. And now that's 40 some odd years now. It's hard to believe how the years just fly by. But it, you know, and I happened to walk into this incredible, spiritually energized environment. And I just gave my life to Christ once again.
Wow.
It was incredible.
Wow. That is so awesome. And so Uncle Vince, so you had a different, so how old were you? You were a little bit older in life. You're in your 20s?
I was, at that point, I was about 26.
26, okay, a little bit older in life. You have a different story, whereas you met Bishop when you were still in your teens.
I met Bishop in Brooklyn. I was about 16.
Wow.
There was an incredible move of God going on. Bishop had went to a Bible school for about 14, 15 weeks.
Pinecrest, I believe it was.
Yeah. And he was discipling a few people in Brooklyn who got saved. And he'd meet with them every so often and just get in the word with them. And he had left, came back, and before you knew it, they had 20, 25 people in an apartment. Just in the Word, tremendous miracles took place. A lot of drug addiction, homosexuality, people getting delivered immediately, drug addiction gone.
Wow.
And my brother was one of them. So my brother came to us, my family, and told us about his experience. Like Pastor Nick, we were a bit skeptical, especially going down a basement in Brooklyn to have church.
Come see Jesus.
Where St. Finbar's was right across the street, this huge Catholic edifice, and we're on Bay 20th going down into a gray basement. Anyway, after a couple of services attending, I just went to the altar one day and experienced Christ like never before. There was an usher behind me, I remember, at the altar call, and just laid his hand on my shoulder, and I looked back, and he looked like he was 9 feet tall, huge man. And after we prayed and I got up, I turned around, he was gone. And I looked all around. And Rig, I swear to you, no one fit the description of the gentleman who laid his hands on me.
As an angel.
And Bishop, it was, I believe that.
Wow.
And Bishop was in front of me, this man behind me. And the glory of God just hit me.
Wow.
And ever since then, I've been following hard after God.
Unbelievable.
And when, at that time, we were coming to Long Island for Bible studies from Brooklyn every Wednesday night. And we'd meet in a little living room or around the kitchen table. Just 8 or 10 people who were involved with the Catholic Charismatic back then in the 70s.
We talked about that last week.
All Bishop's family. And it just grew. God just had a purpose for the people on Long Island. And it just exploded. There was no intention of having a church. We weren't growing a church. We had a Bible study.
Right.
And before we know it, it became a church. And it was only by the hand of God that was established.
Wow.
And God just put things in place for us along the line that we needed to get to where we were 40 years later. There were changes people weren't used to that happened. Rock and roll Christian music, it just wasn't a thing then. And people adapted to the move of God that was current back in the 70s and 80s. And your father, Bishop D'Onofrio, was a spearhead here on Long Island to bring the current move of God. And we saw churches from our church here pop up all over Long Island, only by the grace of God. But it's good to know we had a part to play in what happens here on Long Island.
Definitely. Definitely. Unbelievable. So, okay, so I'm going to go back to you, Uncle Nick, if that's okay. So you come out of the club, you go, it's that Saturday night, you say, I'm done with this. You have this Damascus Road experience. You go to church that next Sunday. And so how did you get from kind of this skeptic to now they're talking about we're going to build a building, and I'm assuming that this is right around the time that the idea of having an edifice, building a house for a meeting place, started to come up in prayer and ideas and so on and so forth. So what was the transition like? And then all of a sudden you go from skeptic to now full blown into ministry.
Well, like I said, when I walked in that door. Actually, as I crawled down the steps of the basement, again, the glory of God and the presence of the Lord was just so obvious and so manifest in this small group of people. Maybe 100 people in that basement, maybe less.
That's a lot.
We just started to worship, and your dad got a word. And I believe it was when he was up in Bible school in Pinecrest, that whatever chairs he put down, that God was going to fill that chair.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
So, you remember that, Dr. Ed? And so we were just standing on that prophetic word that your dad got.
Wow.
And we knew that if we put the chairs down, God promised to fill it. When we got to the point in that basement, there were no place to put a chair down. If I tell you, people were sitting on the steps going up from, going outside. They were sitting in every corner, wherever you could put a chair, we put a chair. There was no more room.
Wow.
So then we just felt it was time. It was time to.
The writing was on the wall.
The writing was on the wall. We were packed in there, and we just knew that it was really time to do something and to take a real faith step. And that's exactly what that was. That was a real faith step, to think that, 70 people in a basement could, buy property, build a building, all of the finances necessary to accomplish that vision. But, your dad just had supernatural faith. He had a great trust in God. We all, just knew that this is what God would have us to do, no matter what. You know what I mean? We had to run through the fire, and trust God for every step of the way. And so that's what happened. And then, we began to look for property was the first thing. And through the process of looking for property, God did something great for us. When I say us, I mean your dad and myself. My father got saved. Okay? And my dad found this piece of property and was instrumental in fighting for it to the end. Because we had a different piece of property that we really wanted and really liked. It was down Deer Park Avenue, closer to the expressway. But my dad said, no, this is the land. He walked it with us. He believed God for this property. And it was just not, he persuaded your dad. And this was the place to build a house.
Wow.
And so we bought this property, and right after we bought this property, God took my dad home. And we really, for 40 years, we saw that as a seed that was planted in the ground. And now we're seeing and experiencing the great harvest of 40 years of powerful ministry right here in that piece of property that my dad felt so secure about.
Wow, unbelievable. You wanted to, you had your mic up, but you wanted to say something, I get it to you.
As I shared last week, it was September either 7th or the 14th. It was a Friday night that Pastor Janet was here from Coudersport and took the very first building fund offering.
Yeah.
She had a vision. She said, I see all of you in a church. We're, this hot, sweaty basement at the time, maybe 100 of us. And that was the launch of really the supernatural believing God for the property and then the church building to come.
Yeah, absolutely remember that.
If you see where the property is located too, Uncle Joe was instrumental in getting it and picking the right piece. We're right across from Straight Path. We're a mile south of the expressway. We're 5 miles south of the Southern State, maybe 5 miles north of the Southern State, and maybe 6 miles north of the Sunrise Highway. It's just a perfect location. And I remembered when we poured the concrete. Nick, you remember?
I do.
We placed Pop's Bible right into the foundation of the church, right over there somewhere.
So Grandpa Joe's Bible is right in the foundation of this.
Yes.
Wow. And it was his faith and basically your obedience to that faith that built this house. You and so many others that bought into that vision.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, he knew the owner of this property. And they gave us an incredible deal on the property, saved us multiple tens of thousands of dollars.
The price we paid for the original 10 acres is ridiculous.
Wow.
It's almost, you couldn't buy a house.
Wow.
And that was 10 acres of property.
Wow.
So, and that was Frank Casada at the time, remember?
Yes, was.
And, if you were a paisan, you were my father's buddy. You know what I mean? That's just how he was. So he made friends with everybody.
He had a strong business acumen because of the pizzeria.
Yeah, he was
that
he
he
owned.
owned.
Restaurant owner for 25 years.
Thank God for that. So we dove into it a little bit with Dr. Eck. And we're coming near to a conclusion. That was my dad. It's calling me. Dad, we're doing live at 5. Please just give me a second, please. We talked about with Dr. Eck how he met his wife, and I kind of want to was it through the church? As a matter of fact, I think Uncle Vin, you had a wonderful story you were sharing with us about a beautiful, wholesome moment.
I met my wife in the basement church. And I was privileged enough to build our first church, to general contract our first church. And after I met her, we were dating for a while during the building program. And then we got engaged, and we were privileged enough to be the first marriage in the church.
Wow, the first
right
marriage.
after I built it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was,
wow.
It was something.
Unbelievable.
He almost had to build the ark on the same day that he had that marriage.
Because it was a flood?
It rained so hard that day. You'll never forget it.
A matter of fact, I had to come in from Brooklyn because my mother insisted I get dressed at the house. And we took a limousine here. And my dad was in the limousine with me, and he looked at me and goes, Vin, this might be a sign. Maybe this isn't going to work out.
It had rained so hard. And you know, Pastor Vin planned this big event over at in North Babylon. What was that
76, I think.
76?
Yeah, 1976.
And it was my
Phelps Lane
first
Park.
date with Aunt Linda.
Oh, wow.
And it's
Was
a
it a
little
church
bit-
event?
It was a church event. It was an
Wow.
event
It was your
that
first date?
It was my first
I
date.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we were at not Heckscher. What's the name of that? park?
Phelps Lane.
Phelps Lane.
Yeah, Phelps
Okay.
Lane Park.
And
Phelps
the
Lane
band
Park.
was all out there. We were just ready.
New sound system.
But yeah, we did it all out. They did one strum, and the heavens opened up. Unbelievable. And it rained so hard, Reek,
Oh,
that
my
as
God.
I'm trying to drive home, literally, and I mean this literally, they were canoeing down Deer Park Avenue. Canoes, it rained so hard. So then he gets married and the same thing happens.
same exact
So he's got a
condition.
bit of a reputation. He's living down.
Up to my knees
Rain
in water.
Man. He's the Rain Man.
Loading the vans up to my knees in water.
Oh,
It was
my God.
unbelievable.
And that was my first date with Aunt Linda.
Wow. Wow. Unbelievable.
And I met Aunt
And she
Linda in
went back
church.
for a second date after
Yeah,
that. So it
yeah.
says something.
Much like
you know.
water, I guess.
Met Aunt Linda in church. I mean, she was absolutely a stunning-looking woman. You
Come
know?
on,
And
talk
so
about
I'm
it.
praising God, and I have to confess, you know, every once in a while you just
had
put
an
a
eye
little
open.
side on that, and you know, and I knew I was marrying up when this beauty decided to take me on.
I
You
think
know?
we could all say that. We married up, that's for sure.
Amen to that. And so there's also, maybe we could end with this story. There's a story about how the 90-Day Wonder, as Dr. Eck told us last week, started March 31st, 1980, was when the first shovel went in. There were round-the-clock teams coming in. The men were working unbelievably.
It's actually May 31st.
Oh, May 31st. I'm sorry.
31st, yeah.
May 30th. Wrong M
We bought the
month.
property on May 23rd,
That's
which was my birthday.
that's your birthday. Wow. Wow.
And then 1 week later is when we started the construction.
Wow.
It was that quick.
Wow. So there was this monumental task being done as the need was being spoken. It was being answered by people coming in, masons and carpenters and woodworkers and every. Dad, I'll be right with you. Everything that anything that we needed was showing up, and you were general contracting. As what I know the story to be, you had no background in building anything, and my dad went to you and just said, "Vin, you're building this," and you're like, oh, "Okay." I mean, is that
Bishop had
true?
incredible faith. We had two professional men who were going to build it for us in the congregation.
Mm-hmm.
And they realized running their business and doing the church would have been a little too much for them.
Mm-hmm.
They backed out. Well, they backed out is a terrible word. They decided not to do it. And Bishop looked at me and he said, "You want to do it?" I went, "Okay."
Now, how old were you?
I was 19.
Wow.
And I said, "Okay," but I knew nothing about building. But there was something in me. God gave me a gift of administration and ability to do things that, how could I say, are out of the norm. Is that fair to say? When I first started in the Brooklyn basement, I didn't know Dad 4 weeks. And he asked me to put together a park meeting, get permits, do all these things. And God just gave me an ability to be able to do those kind
So
of
a gift
things.
of administration.
Pretty much, yeah. And when I said yes, I didn't realize what I was saying yes to. And But Dad, God bless him, he just knows, he can see beyond what you can see many times.
Yes.
And I started building it. And I'm not lying about this. This is truth.
Dr.
I
Eck,
saw cesspools on the building plans. And I went, I didn't realize we were having a pool. Like, and that's not a lie. I didn't know what a cesspool was. I come from Brooklyn.
Right.
We have sewers.
Sewers, no
There's
cesspools.
nothing-
Right.
What's a cesspool? And the joke around the building program was Vinny can't nail in a screw.
Nail in a screw.
Nail in a screw. So, but anytime we needed something, it happened. We needed carpenters. All of a sudden, one of the carpentry companies in our congregation at the time, the small congregation in the basement, all of a sudden they had no work.
Wow.
In the middle of a boom,
Wow.
they had no work.
Look at
For
God.
3 months. His crew stood on the job the entire 3 months, Dave Benson's crew.
Right, right.
We needed a spackler. Again, I wasn't quite sure what spackling was. But before I knew it, a guy saw the cross. We had built a 2x4 cross on the front of the church. This gentleman saw it. He was addicted to drugs. He comes in, says, man, I got problems. You don't want me working here. And we ministered to him. Dad happened to be here that day, laid hands on him. He got delivered to drugs.
Wow.
Spackled the whole place.
Wow, 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 wow.
That was a 50 by 100 off first.
Right,
First
the
building.
90-day wonder.
Right.
Yeah.
Electricians. One of the men, again, from our church, he came here every night. Every night he was here. From the time he got off work till midnight.
Wow.
Running wires. Just getting helpers. All the young people came around.
Right.
Just to lend a hand. That enabled our skilled people to do what they had to do. And it was just an amazing time of sacrifice and giving that just saw us through that whole project.
Wow.
God's hand was just on it. It was amazing.
So they're working feverishly, and we have a deadline of we got to be in 90 days, and everyone's hustling. You're overseeing it. Obviously, you were just telling us you just had this new sprouting relationship with Aunt Sue, just courting and dating and working all that, and you putting in crazy hours. Now, something happened on the first service, this monumental moment that you've been making this giant push.
You're really
to
going to bring that up, huh? Okay.
Come on, tell us. It's Testimony Tuesday.
We will work until all hours of the night. And that last Saturday night, the 31st was the fulfillment of the prophetic word that we'd be in 90 days.
Right.
And we wanted to make sure that that happened.
Right.
We just were, and it wasn't in our power, it was God's ability that he gave us to do it. He fulfilled his word through us.
Right.
And we're ripping up plastic, and the ceilings being sprayed, and carpets are being cleaned.
Now, this is the night before.
The night before. We're just feverishly working. And we must have worked till 3, 4 a.m. And I ran home to get changed for the first service, and I sat on my bed, just about getting ready to go in the shower, and I said, just 2 minutes. And I laid back, and that was it until 1:30 in the afternoon. And I looked at the clock, and I was like, no, this can't be. And it was. I missed the first service.
You did all the work.
90-day wonder.
And got none of the fruits of your labors.
Pretty much. I enjoyed the second service, though.
Let me as we're getting ready to close, the thing that I keep hearing about how we got to where we are two eternal principles: faith and obedience. I'd like to just pray for this, for where we are right now, because I know that as much as God has done for us to get us here, there's still more for God. There's more for us that God has for us. And that includes you. That includes your generation, and it includes the support of the next generation. And I feel very strongly, and I know you gentlemen do as well, that God is positioning us, specifically Upper Room, for another explosive move of his glory and habitation. And it's going to be something different. It's going to be a way that we've never gone before. Joshua says, sanctify, ready yourself, because tomorrow God's about to do an exploit. And I feel that there is a prophetic timing in this season that we're in that is going to catapult us into the fulfillment of all of the seeds that you and your generation has sown. You know, so I would maybe, if we could just take a minute each and just share what do you believe the key to fulfilling God's mandate for our house? What do you feel that is for this present generation, which is a combination of two generations? If you just take, each of you just take a minute, and then we'll pray.
Well, certainly the two, ingredients that you put in the pot was faith and obedience. Okay, and if I were to add a third, I would simply say, one of the things that we absolutely, almost a mantra for this ministry was keep your hands off the ark. Okay? Which means allow God to do what God's going to do. And that's what we did.
Right.
In the beginning, we saw God move supernaturally equipping, like something like what happened with Vinny, a young kid, never built a little treehouse, and here he is building a building. So we saw supernatural equipping. We saw supernatural provisions. When we needed the spackler, he just walked in the door. We didn't have to find the spackler. God just sent them. We allowed God to move. And then we saw a supernatural move of finance that you couldn't believe that this little church was able to finance this kind of project. But there was real supernatural giving. So I think with your two things, I think the third thing is we just keep your hands off the ark and let God be God, because he'll fulfill. And there is still lots of prophetic words that God gave us back in the day that we have not seen come to pass yet, and that we're still believing for.
Yes.
But we heard the message that one day God's going to make Long Island the Lord's Island.
Yes.
We're going to see that come to pass.
Yes.
I don't think we've seen it yet.
No, sir.
But it's coming.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, get ready.
Yeah.
Get ready. We're going to see that happen in a major way. And who knows how God's going to move.
Onto Long Island, that